Congresswoman, I'm always grateful for you to get up and get our show going. Let's start with a clip of one of Congressman Comer's many excuses for not wanting Hunter Biden to testify publicly. And maybe we don't.
We need to ask him hundreds of questions. If he comes in for one hearing with 24 members having 5 minutes each to ask questions, with the Democrats yelling and screaming like they do every hearing, we would probably get about 30 to 35 questions in.
Okay, so the GOP, Congresswoman, certainly has not cornered the market on decorum, and you sit on the House Oversight Committee. Would it truly be disruptive in any way to have Hunter Biden testify publicly?
I mean, it may be. Absolutely. I mean, think about the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene decided that she wanted to show his nudes because she felt as if that was relevant to an impeachment inquiry. So, yeah, I mean, it may be disruptive, but they've been disruptive this entire time. And Katie, let me point out the fact to you that there has been an investigation into Hunter ever since Trump was president. They have been trying to go after Hunter Biden, and now they've tried to tie Hunter to the president. And honestly, they have been shamed at every corner. I applaud Hunter Biden and his team for saying, listen, if y'all want to do this, we're going to do this out in the open. We're going to be transparent about it. But of course, they don't want transparency. What they want is they want to go behind closed doors. But I got news for y'all. If for some reason there is a closed door deposition, I will be in attendance at that closed door deposition to make sure that we get some truth out of what happens.
And House Republicans are considering holding a, quote, formal House vote this month to authorize their impeachment inquiry into President Biden. But as you said, they've already started investigating, have come up with nothing. So do you think this, quote, formal vote in any way will strengthen their position at all if it manages to pass?
No, I don't. And actually, Katie, they're trying to hold this next week. So when we go back into session, what they want to do is they want to hold a vote on the impeachment inquiry. You know, the vote that they said they didn't need when Kevin McCarthy decided that he was going to officially call for the impeachment inquiry. The one that they said that, well, Nancy Pelosi said she didn't need it, but Nancy Pelosi got it, right? The one that Kevin McCarthy didn't have the votes for. So they are talking about trying to do that. I think they're trying to bring some credence to this clown show, and they are trying to say, hey, look, see, now we've got the support. But those votes don't mean anything. And honestly, they're doing their bootleg investigation anyway. So it's not going to change anything. But I do look forward to Hunter showing up in public if that is something that Comer decides that he wants to backpedal on and re-extend.
Before we switch gears, I do want to note Comer actually gave options for people like Hunter Biden to appear to testify either publicly or otherwise. So now you want to talk about backpedaling. Now those words will come back to bite him. But let's switch gears to one of our favorite topics, which is George Santos. As I stated earlier in the show, crazy George Santos still be crazy, but he won't be a congressman at the same time. I'm watching this man's Twitter feed. I will not lie. I mean, he literally wants to burn the house down. But is this just a sign of proof positive why somebody like George Santos had no business sitting in the halls of Congress to begin with?
It absolutely is, but also he does have a lot of colleagues that probably shouldn't be in Congress either. The difference that George doesn't recognize is that his constituents in New York 3rd had no idea about who he was and about all that he does. Listen, I don't think that Marjorie Taylor Greene should be there. I don't think Lauren Boebert should be there. I got a long list of grievances with people that I don't believe should be there. But when their constituents elect them, they know who they are. I mean, they know that Lauren Boebert likes to do questionable things in the theater. They know that Marjorie Taylor Greene is, well, I'm going to leave it there. But nevertheless, they know who they are, and they continue to elect them. Even George Santos, he actually can run to get his seat back, just like the Justins in Tennessee. If New York 3rd wants to send him back, he will come back and we won't end up doing another expulsion. I doubt that he's going to run for the special election. I think he knows that his district doesn't want him, but he can, and he can run in the regular. And even if and when he goes to prison, he can run then, because of course, the only place that you can run for office after being convicted of federal felony crimes would be on the federal level.